possible availability, and I guess he's taken off the PUP list?
He's taken off the PUP list, but he's got to get in football shape and everything else, so I wouldn't expect him to play early on.
Is there a goal? Is there a week that would be the ideal return for him?
No, just when he's ready. Just when he's ready. I mean, he's been out a long time. He's got to get in football shape. Tristan the same way, but they'll be off, and then we'll see how it goes going forward.
If the logic in putting Godwin on is so he can practice within the first 4 weeks of the season, would you do the same with Wirfs? Would we expect Wirfs to be on the initial 53 as well?
Yes.
What is up, Bucs fans? We are back live on a Monday. Buccaneers have started to make some roster moves, and we're going to get into all of that. And obviously some surprising moves, some not so much, but we got some changes, going on with the roster. So just want to welcome everybody in. If you're just joining us, welcome to Real Bucs Talk. Mark, I think, will be on here shortly. But yeah, just want to get your guys' thoughts on what has taken place so far. As you heard Coach Todd Bowles talk about Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin. Both of those players are expected, hopefully, to be back by week 4 at the latest. Godwin probably more so week 5. But it looks like Tristan Wirfs is on track to maybe get in there at week 2, which would be awesome news. But yeah, just a crazy couple of days, a lot of roster cuts. A lot of teams are making their moves towards, the initial 53. And I think a lot of people, I just want to put this out here just to remind everyone, there's no final 53-man roster. It's all initial, because there's always going to be changes throughout the year. The roster is fluid, as those who followed me when I was on Buck What You Heard talked about a lot of that. As moves that we see today doesn't mean that's the end for those guys. Again, a lot of these guys come back on the practice squad. Some go on IR. There's all sorts of different avenues, and they're just trying to get the right 53. And I think that was a really good point made by, shout out Scott Reynolds from Pew Report. It's not about the best 53. It's about finding the right 53. And I think a lot of, fans, unfortunately, don't put all that together. They're thinking about, who's the best player, but you also have to account, like, these guys have to play special teams. They have to be good on special teams. So we'll get into that. But I just wanted to welcome everybody in. If you're joining us on Twitter or YouTube, just let me, let us know. Hit that like button. We appreciate all the support. Be sure to share the stream as well. We have content on Substack, and that's something new that we're trying to get more out there. So Substack is really fun. We have a lot of great exclusive content. We just have a film study up of Benjamin Morrison. So we're going to try to do more stuff on there. That will be big this week as we get into some of the film studies of, certain players and really go over their preseason and how they did. And then obviously in the regular season, as Go Bucs 1911 mentions, only 13 days until the Buccaneers face the Atlanta Falcons, which is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. It's going to be exciting because I think we match up very well against Atlanta. I think we're going to be in really good shape as far as going into that week. I think we're going to be healthy for the most part. And yeah, it should be a good game. I really think a lot of fans are going to be surprised of how good the defense is going to be to start off. And I think the offense will, be good enough early on and then get better as the season goes. So yeah, that should be really cool. But I want to bring up, let's go ahead and bring up this screen. Greg Allman has been outstanding so far, these last couple of days. He's always on top of it, but he's been reporting a lot of these cuts. As you see there, they have done 27 cuts so far. And I believe, well, actually it's 28. They don't include the Kyle Trask release. So we'll get into that. Buccaneers have a new quarterback too, and Teddy Bridgewater. I think that is the right move. I think that's where they were leaning to. And unfortunately for Kyle, he just wasn't consistent enough on the practice field or in games really, because he would go 1 week, looking good against the Titans, and then the next week it was just not the same. And I don't know if that was due to injury, because they did report that there was an injury as far as his shoulder, and he could go to IR for that, and maybe have an injury settlement take place. We'll have to see. But I think it's very interesting to see how that plays out. But I'm excited about Bridgewater being the backup, and hopefully we don't have to see him play. Baker Mayfield stays healthy and has a good year. So I think that is important. But other big cuts, just looking through this list. Shiloh Sanders, I think, was a hot topic over the weekend. He was going to get cut regardless. I think, he has a lot of fans, very polarizing player, but he just wasn't very good as far as playing safety. Has a lot of development to go. And I wish him the best. I just don't think he's a professional right now. So that's why he got released. Anthony Walker was a surprise. That you think Anthony Walker would have went to, just stay on the reserve list, be out the first 4 weeks, and then come back. But we'll see what happens here. Like JC Allen reports, maybe it could be a scenario where he comes back after week 1. They put him on, the roster or maybe the practice squad. And I think it just shows to like how much they liked Deion Jones and also John Bullock. Like those guys were really good on special teams. And I think that's where, they made their mark. And, Bullock is a young player out of Nebraska that they were excited about. So I think that should be, really cool to see. And you look at the depth chart here, it's not really organized here on ESPN. They have CJ Brewer over Kalijah Cansey. Obviously, that's incorrect. But they have a lot of the guys that have been cut so far, they're gone or off this list. So when you look at it, the linebackers, Levante David and Servassier Dennis, then Deion Jones, and then John Bullock as your fourth. I don't think Antonio Greer is going to make it, but we'll see. We'll see there. And then your outside linebackers, people are mentioning about that. KG for life, talking about, the depth. And yeah, I think they're just going to they might keep 5 because they still have Marquise Watts here. They're going to have Anthony Nelson and Braswell as your backups. Watts, I think, maybe stays on because, again, special teams, he does well there. So maybe they keep 5. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe they make some additions externally, see what takes place, who becomes available. You look at the secondary, I think it's pretty standard. I know a lot of people were talking about, Bryce Hall being let go, where he's mentioned right here. Again, that could be another one where they put him on the practice squad or he finds an opportunity elsewhere. And I think they like Kendall Vildor as the 5th corner. You still have Benjamin Morrison coming back. He's going to be ready by week 1, I think. So I think they're confident. Again, not too many surprises here. Desmond Watson, again, was expected. I just don't think he was committed to football. I don't think he loves football. And I think that's why he was cut. But again, appreciate everyone joining us. I want to go through some comments here. Let me go back to the screen. Some people were saying Trask to the Raiders. I don't know if he's gonna. We'll see what happens with Trask as far as going to another team. Maybe Jacksonville, maybe Carolina, just because of the coaches that are there. Maybe they bring him along at those spots. We'll see. So Anthony Walker, his injury was a knee injury. Again, it was a non-football injury, so he could have stayed on the non-football reserve, but the Buccaneers decided to part ways and go a different different route. We'll see what happens with him if he does come back. Corey Hall, what's up, man? Good to see you. Fukuwa, appreciate it, man. Thank you for becoming a member. Yeah, if you guys are new here or been subscribed, again, you can join and become a member for our channel. And again, you get some nice exclusive content up on there. We're going to continue to pour those out, but thank you, Fukuwa. Much appreciated. Corey Hall talking about Shiloh. Yeah, I think again, he just wasn't NFL ready. He needed a lot of development. College film was the same way, where he's very up and down and inconsistent. So yeah, I think he was going to get cut regardless. And let's see, what else we got in here? Yeah, talking about Bryce Hall again. I think it just goes into who can play special teams. I think that's a big thing. We'll get Mark in here. Mark, how are we doing? The goatee looks strong, man. It keeps growing and growing. I love it. So, but preseason is over. We got the roster cuts starting to come down and getting to the initial 53. So it's exciting. And like Go Bucs 1911 said earlier, we're only 13 days away from the regular season, which is crazy to think about. But we're just kind of going over some comments here. Got a lot of people here in the chat. But how are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you feeling about these moves made so far?
I mean, it's very fluid, right? I mean,
Yep.
that's the big word we use a lot over here. But I mean, overall, the guys that would make it are making it. And yes, the bottom of the roster is going to be, like you just mentioned, who can do the most for special teams. I think the linebacker room kind of showed that, to be honest, to me, the biggest fashion. But yeah, other than that, the goatee's holding on strong. The wife wanted me to trim it, so I had to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's still there. Trying him on. But yeah, thanks for all the hellos, guys. Welcome to the chat. Let's get it going. But I mean, overall, Trask on, surprised about it. I think it's more people, like I saw on Twitter or X, people were saying like the guys that they could have had in that second round. I think that's the biggest thing you get upset about, where it's like, why would you waste a second round pick on a potential quarterback for the future and then you just let him go? I mean, he just never really got playing time. He never really grew in a system. He couldn't hold onto a system more than an offensive coordinator would stay here. So, and he was a slow learner. We all know that. That's the frustrating part of it. And then Teddy Bridgewater is a journeyman quarterback that's been through every system. Is a very much game experience, awareness, a guy that can be mentally part of it. And also, if he has to be put in a pinch, you're going to, like we talked about it, you're going to trust him more than you're going to trust Trask. But I mean, overall, you hope Trask gets a job somewhere. I mean, he just never had many opportunities, but I mean, I'm more trusting of Teddy behind Baker than anything.
Yeah. I think that's what it comes down to. Teddy, like you said, he's been there, he's done that. He has played in games, and I think what he showed briefly in his stint here so far, being able to execute those 2 drives and get 2 touchdowns out of them, even though he almost did kill Jalen McMillan. Thank God he didn't. But yeah, I mean, he just showed a good grasp. He also has very good mobility within the pocket, good pocket presence as well, knows when to throw the football away. So I think you feel confident. Hopefully we don't see him at all this year and Baker just stays healthy. That's what we want. But if Bridgewater had to go in, you would feel confident that he could at least, maintain the offense to what it needs to be. So I think that's where they went.
I mean, Corey Hall, this is the biggest case, right? Why would you waste a second round pick on a bubblegum armed quarterback that can't throw nothing but a mesh route? Best cut of the day. He's proud that he's cut, but I mean,
yeah.
In that situation, you had Tom Brady, didn't have anything else. And like, they didn't think they'd have an opportunity. I mean, this is down the road. You didn't think you'd have an opportunity for Baker Mayfield, right?
Yeah.
Baker kind of fell into your lap. And once he got signed, I was like, oh, this is the quarterback. It was immediate, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's frustrating for Trask in a personal standpoint, but he had great numbers in college. Yes, he may have not had a cannon arm. You don't necessarily have to have that, but still, it's like the Bucs were trying to flip over a rock and see what could they get, right? You had an SEC caliber quarterback that was a Heisman Trophy finalist, or he was in the running, right? So I don't know. I mean, in their standpoint, they just you never know. I mean, look at the Patriots for years and years with Tom Brady. I mean, they drafted Garoppolo pretty damn high. They made quarterback picks multiple times. Yeah, they got trades out of it, but yeah, either way, like no one's perfect. And yeah, Kyle Trask second round, it was high. Don't get me wrong, it was. I was intrigued by the pick, but it was more a futuristic pick to learn under the best. So yes, the woulda, coulda, shouldas will scratch at you, but it's hindsight's 2020. Yeah, but they took a risk and it didn't work out. But either way, you move forward. You have Baker. You found something better.
Yeah, I mean it's the end of the 2021 class. JTS is still in the league. He's playing for the Cleveland Browns. Trask, we'll see. Robert Hainsey, he's the starting center for Jacksonville. Jalen Darden, I'm not sure where he's at. Didn't work out. KJ Britt is down with Miami. I'm not sure if he's made the team. We'll see what happens there. Grant Stewart actually has become a solid player. I think he's playing for the Colts. So, yeah, I mean, when you look at it from that standpoint, you can't say like the class was a complete bust. They did some good things for the Buccaneers. Some of these guys did, and then they just moved on. So, unfortunately, it wasn't a home run draft like we've seen like the last couple of years. Even going into this season, it looks like we're going to have a lot of contributors. So that's exciting. But yeah, I mean,
to their credit though, like Jason Light and their staff, their best attribute of like judging these guys or talking to them, being impersonal with them, talking to like the coaches and stuff, understanding the guy. It was during the COVID season. A lot of these guys didn't even play. JTS didn't even play. So like a lot of this was like trusting of certain things from years prior. You couldn't really evaluate as they wanted to. No excuse. It was, I mean, from our most recent draft classes to that one, you're like, holy crap, that was a pile of ass. But I mean, that is just one of the, I guess, variables you had to do with that year. It was, yeah, we won a Super Bowl, but I guess we couldn't evaluate very much because we were doing a deep Super Bowl run and it was a COVID year where you couldn't really get the nitty gritty of asking guys questions face to face, kind of things like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I look back, when you look at the current depth chart, again, this is not fully updated. Trask won't be there, but you look at, just the overall position so far. So quarterback looks like it's pretty much set. Running back, it looks like we are going to keep 4. They really like Josh Williams. Guy had a really good game against the Bills. He played well on special teams, looked good as a runner. The main thing that I liked about him, he can pass protect. So you might have a future here with him potentially just redshirting this year, being a depth insurance, and maybe someone down the road who can take over for Rachaad White if he does decide to leave elsewhere for a new contract. And then Sean Tucker and Josh Williams could be your backups to Bucky Irving. So what's your thoughts on that? He did shine as far as return, game and offers something there.
And that's something we can always have some, like, because we normally don't ever have any. The giant step up of Trey Palmer also is, I think, something we want to see. And that's with Tez and Josh Williams. But I mean, overall, I think Rachaad White, he's just deserving of a contract.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be with the Bucs. That's just my personal opinion. Even though he is a damn good player and well-deserved, it's just the running back position. I just don't think you put that much, how would you say, numerical value on, especially when
Yeah.
you're evaluating a team. Because
Right.
just like you just said, you have Bucky Irving, you have Sean Tucker who can come in. Then you have, okay, you just got an undrafted guy that showed
Yeah.
promise. So why would you just put so much into it? That's just me. It's my team building thing. So I
Mhm.
think you just move on and keep rolling the dice with your dominant offensive line and putting good players behind them. So
Yep.
overall, yes, Josh Williams, a very gadget guy currently, but he also offers some pass blocking abilities, which is surprising for his
Mhm.
size and everything. But
Yep.
overall, loaded running back room.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's in good shape. And then we move to receiver, which there's a lot of players and some that are going to be let go that could catch on somewhere else. You look at, there's rumors about Trey Palmer potentially being traded. We'll see if that does take place. I think we talked about it, I think in the last live stream. I think it's Evans, Godwin, Abuka, McMillan goes to IR. And then you have Tez Johnson, Sterling Shepard, and Ryan Miller as your receivers. I think Garrett Green, they probably can get on the practice squad. Same thing with Cameron Johnson, maybe. And I think that's about it. And we'll see what happens with Trey Palmer. But your thoughts there as far as receiver? It looks like it's pretty much standard right now. And I don't think we can expect much surprise there.
Yeah, the biggest frustration is the injuries. Like you're
Yep.
waiting on Chris Godwin, you're waiting on
Right.
McMillan half the damn season. Yeah, it sucks, but the depth is there. We've had these conversations. You still have one of the top 5 receivers in Mike Evans, whether he has a showing of his age or whatever the hell you want to have it.
Mhm.
I don't think he's going to have that. He's not that old. He's just been putting up 1,000-yard seasons so consistently, and people think he's just an old guy. I don't get it, but right.
Yeah.
Abuka you hopefully step right on in, but still, like you have so much diversions you can create with Mike Evans. You don't have to fully put it on Abuka. And to me, what I've seen from Sterling Shepard from preseason and just his leadership and just being continuity with Baker yet again. I mean, I think it's going to be something good for that slot to have him being in there.
Yeah.
To easily transition Abuka to not be just being the number one guy. And I think Abuka is going to benefit from this because still teams are going to look at Evans. They're going to have to cover him, double him. So yes, he may be a beneficiary of it, but it's not going to be because they're leaning on him heavily. It's more just because he's going to be opportunistic based off of a good running game, weapons around that other teams are scared of because they don't know anything about Abuka just yet.
Yeah,
But
for
overall,
sure.
Receiving room, there's still talent there to use. And you're not even talking about Tez Johnson or Ryan Miller. That's talking the bottom of the depth chart, but still, like your top 3 are pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you able to bring up Tez Johnson by chance?
Absolutely.
And we should have it up there on the drive. Hopefully, I just want to bring that up because I did a lot of things where I can see a lot of different players doing things like this. Because when you look at Tez, okay, he's lined up here inside. They're in this bunch formation, but how they utilize him and how they run him is really cool to see. And you're going to just see him be that underneath option. Again, option routes here, understanding. Again, they're running 2 verticals to clear space for him. He's doing an option route underneath. His instincts and ability once he catches that ball is very impressive. The ability to cut on a dime. And this is the gifts of being 160 pounds. He doesn't have much weight behind him. So he's able to do things like this. And I think whether it's him or even like Abuka or Ryan Miller, Sterling Shepard, you can create space for these guys to operate. Like I love the end motion here, bring him back. These are just easy completions for Baker Mayfield that you could have, and you're creating space because of it.
The cool thing is that they were drawing it up for him. I mean, this is their design. Okay, we're throwing it all in for this one play. And if it's not there, okay, we're going to look deep, intermediate, low. Yes, it's a concept leveling concept play, right?
Yeah.
Deep. If deep's not there, we have levels where we can hit. He was just so wide the hell open so fast that everyone chased the trash, and he has speed for days. Just might as well take it and go. But like you were saying, 150, 160, his comment about like Desmond Watson kind of thing, it was hilarious to me in his press conference. But it's true. Like there's no wait for the giddy up. It's once I get it, I can turn and go. And he's showing it. It's not just in college speed. He can make these moves in the pro level as well.
Yeah. And again, this is like, again, similar concept where they're running the two verticals and they're just going to have him run an option route. He sees it right away, sits down for the quarterback, and then he makes the guy miss, and he's able to get extra yards because of it.
And it's clean. I mean, but the thing is, like, if you leave him that,
and even look at, I forgot to mention this, even look at the blitz pickup by Josh Williams. I know he falls down, but he's able to get enough of the guy right there and it allows the quarterback to get the throw off.
Yeah, just getting in the way, not just being pummeled completely. It's just having a quarterback that can get it out quickly when they realize, holy shit, there's pressure coming. And then also Tez, give him credit to understanding my guy's that far back. They're sending guys in. I need to be presenting as an option to my quarterback. There it is. Hands catch, turning upfield immediately. Here's the
for sure. Yeah. And here's the TD. This is, again, just using his skill set to what he does well. They're just running a nice, simple speed out here. He beats the guy, good throw, and he makes a nice catch for the touchdown. So love to see it. The celebration was phenomenal. Too bad that's not on here, but yeah, just incredible athlete for Tez Johnson, and a great game for him.
But also talking about Grizzard's Miami Dolphin type of offense, right? Grouping everything close to the line to get your speed guys in space outside, right? So this is literally what it was. You grouped it all inside. Nope. The space is outside. Get my speed guys out there and present them with a ball and let them work. So this is like glimpses for the future, hopefully, and using guys like Tez that have speed to get open and annihilate the defense.
Yeah, for sure. So I just feel like that's awesome display of like kind of saw what the offense is going to be potentially with different concepts. Again, I think Grizzard is going to really exploit, like you just talked about, the speed to space. Really, you're opening things up for your playmakers. You're giving your quarterback high percentage throws so he can be accurate, and we saw that all last year. That's why Baker was, over 70% completion percentage, because they were using, matchups and opportunities to get guys out in space. So I'm really excited to see that. Let's go, or no, not back there. Let's remove that. And go there. There we go. So yeah, that's the receiver position, which I'm just stoked about. And then tight end, I think, is Steady Eddie for our group with K-Dot and Payne Durham. You're going to have O'Keefe because of special teams. And then Devin Culp, like, he's going to have a package. And I'm excited to see how that plays out. Like, maybe he gets, 8 to 10 plays, maybe less. But when he is on the field, he's going to create opportunities for either himself or others. And I think that's going to be exciting to see.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I like that they tried different things with him in the preseason. That's what you're supposed to do. Yes, he fumbled on the tight end screen.
Yeah.
I think it's a learning experience. Listen, brother, hold on to the ball. Right? I mean, if anything, make someone miss. Don't try and muscle through.
Yep.
Yeah, but then again, you're a tight end. Get down, right?
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I mean, you can see how they were using him when it was just traditional routes.
Yeah.
He showed up. Like he can move. He can get into space. He can run the routes. He can hands catch. I mean, in little spurts, he's shown you what he can do. It's more what packages can you put him in where, I mean, you can just be multiple. I mean, it's not going to be like where he's going to be defined roles like Tez Johnson, I would think, where it's like, oh, here's sprinkling some of these creative plays. I guess more going to be, he can be put into a position and just be that much better at a speed threat than the other guys on the roster. I don't necessarily think they're going to be like, oh, we're going to run some screens with him. We're going to do some trick play or, no, I think it's just more in a pinch when we need a speed guy, get the hell out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think with that group, we're going to see a lot more 12 personnel because that's what we saw in the preseason. And I expect that to continue, especially with Charlie Heck at left tackle. They're going to want to have protection around him, make sure he has enough help. So you're going to see K-Dot and Payne Durham out there with Ibuka and Mike Evans. Then you have your running backs, and there's also opportunities where they just empty everything and have the 2 tight ends go out into the slot. You have Bucky Irving go out, and maybe he catches a pass down, downfield, like we saw in the preseason. So, shifting to the offensive line, I think Tristan Wirfs, hopefully he can be back as soon as week 2. I'm thinking he's probably going to be back for week 3 for the home opener. So that is good news that he's going to start practicing here shortly. And then you have Charlie Heck, Ben Bredesen, Graham Barton, Cody Mock. I don't know why Luke Haggard is the starting right guard. He got cut today. Hopefully we see him back on the practice squad. But Cody Mock will be the right guard. And then Luke Gedeke. The big news is Elijah Klein is going to be your top interior backup offensive lineman. So I think that's great for him. He'll be that guard or center type. Jake Majors, unfortunately, got injured, and he settled with an injury settlement. So hopefully he can come back later in the season to the team. And then you have Mike Jordan and Ben Chikuma, who really got better at each game. He really stood out throughout the preseason. So we'll definitely get a film study of him, probably go up on the Substack, hopefully later this week. But he was really good. He came a long way.
No, 100%. And he just seemed more confident in some of his press conferences. He's just like, I know I'm strong. I know I can move. It's more building my confidence, knowing that I can execute these plays the way they want me to, and understanding every game I'm getting more confident. It's not necessarily he's doubting his abilities. He knows his ability is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's more in the system because his story is insane. Not playing football at all. Until his senior year of high school, and then being okay, guys, just let me try. And he just kept doing well throughout the whole damn thing. He's just a naturally strong dude, kind of like Yaya, right?
Yeah.
He's got the size, strength. It's more, can you apply that to a functional movement? And they may have gotten lucky with a guy like him, and that's why I think Jason Light says it best. You don't let left tackles just go.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a chance to hold one, you keep them, and you don't let them get into practice squad or free agency. They just don't. They're rare.
Yeah, so that will be the Bucs offensive line. I think for the most part, they might make some additions, but they have 9 guys right now. So we'll see how it plays out. But I think that's going to be your offensive line. They'll probably bring some guys back on the practice squad just to have, for reserve in case of an injury or something goes wrong or whatever. But they are in pretty good shape right now. And then defensively, we'll shift to the defensive going. Again, they kind of messed up the depth chart here, but Kalijah Cansey, Vita Vea, Logan Hall, our favorite, they're going to be the starters. And then your backups are going to be Greg Gaines. We'll see what happens with Adam Gostis. They might keep him over CJ Brewer. It kind of seems like it's between him and Brewer for the last defensive line spot. Elijah Roberts, let's just stop right there. And let's bring the bad boy up because this guy played outstanding. I just want to show this. Now, this was for edge, but Elijah Roberts played inside defensive tackle, and he won 30% in win rate. That's number 1 among all defensive linemen. Crazy to see Mike Green. We knew Mike Green was going to be good, and he went in the second round. But again, you also have to remember these guys are going up against backup offensive linemen, so that does play some part into it. But it's cool to see a Buccaneer on top. And it's also sad at the same time because if David Walker was healthy, I think he would be on this list. I think he would be right up there because he was going to make an impact. And it's kind of exciting that we have him already in store for next year, and hopefully he can bring that kind of juice that we all thought he was going to bring to the table.
I mean, but either way, this is a guy that's produced at the college level.
Yeah.
Same with David Walker, like you just said. And it's just producing, yes, not against starting caliber guys, but still, you're showing it's not, the stage isn't too big for you. You can compete. And guess what? You're getting notoriety right there.
Hmm. Yeah, it's awesome. So, yeah, let me bring this up, remove that. There we go. And get the comment out of there. But yeah, Elijah Roberts, I think he just showed so much. And these are only a few plays from the game this past week. But here's the sack. I mean, his handwork, his ability to, again, still plays a little high at times. He's got to work on that pad level, but he's just violent with his hands. I like how he's able to rip through aggressively. Again, he's pushing this guy back. He's getting him off balance, and then he's ripping right there, getting the hands off of him, pulling the shoulder pads down, right, and then able to finish with the sack. So that's really cool to see. Like, that's high-end pass rush ability right off the start. Again, I know these are backup offensive linemen, but this shows the progression and just the ability that he can continue to enhance his game. And hopefully by mid-season, this guy could be a force.
Yeah, so the biggest comparison, you're going to have to do it. I mean, this is just 1-on-1, right?
Yeah.
Logan Hall and his swim move, and then Elijah Roberts and this swim move you're just going to see. Yes, two totally different players. Logan Hall is a finesse guy.
Right.
He's extremely high all the time, and he's winning based off of quickness. He doesn't want to get in a hand battle. He doesn't want to get into who's stronger than who. This is just, I'm going to get my hands on you, realize what you were trying to do. I love this left hand and how much power he has to pull this shoulder down and then swim immediately over it. Like, that is a power swim move. That's not just let me win with quickness. Biggest difference between Logan Hall and Elijah Roberts right there. And he's winning consistently. And it's like the power moves he can give you. Look where he's playing right now. Starting inside again. I don't know why they gave him the edge, I guess, win rate over there. But still, look at him over here, getting against the tackle. Look at the power here. He gets to toss it. You see Vita Vea do that to guys. But it's just power to stand my ground, put my left foot in the ground, and let this guy keep going forward as I'm getting in front of the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see, like, what type of moves and then combinations that he's able to pull off. Like, he's showing a lot of different things to these linemen, and again, he's finding ways to get off blocks, finding ways to get in the way, and apply pressure. Again, not always the best result on the play overall, but he is doing a great job of finding ways to win, and I think that's important. And you see Braswell there at the end, like, he's trying to get to the edge, like he's almost bending the corner there. Unfortunately, this ball is just out, at the time they're getting it, and it's ended up being a completion.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, though, it's not just winning with one move. Yes, I understand. Yeah. Every player has their identity, their go-to, but like Elijah Roberts has multiple ways he can win. I love that a lot of this is with power. He's initially showing the power because, like, we're trying to transition him to a defensive tackle mainly, right? Not necessarily an edge player, even though he did play that in college. But the fact he's doing this now, it's only a bright spot, in my opinion. Yes, here he kind of drove, pushed the guy back, kind of got held up, didn't get in the tackle. But still, like, the pressure, the push, it's there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, just showing different things, being able to hand swipe, get through avenues, here get skinny, being able to just disengage, push off the other guy. Like, that's really cool to see. Like, that is developed pass rush moves where this is definitely his strength. And now it's just about building him as an all-around player. And he got better against the run as the preseason went on. He got stronger with his play, and you can see it here where he's able to at least provide rush. Unfortunately, there was no edge contain on the other side. We just left that wide open. But yeah, I mean, it's just cool that he's able to win like this.
And we're talking hands with the feet, right?
Yeah.
So as he's approaching the center's going to have to throw hands at one point. The second he sees his hands get thrown, now, okay, slap those bad boys away, work around them. As you see, the center's leaning forward. He's like, oops, I missed. Missed with my slap or missed with my punch. Push those hands down, get around him, like you said, get skinny, get upfield in a hurry. Like, that's hustle, that's heart. He's really, I mean, it's not a 4-4 guy, guys, but still the hand battling, the understanding of pass rush moves, and containment, like, and a hit on the quarterback. So there's a lot of stuff to like with this tape.
Yeah, I mean, again, consistent with the motor. I think that's a big thing. Unfortunately, this play didn't stand. I think there was a holding on one of our guys, unfortunately, but this could have been potentially a turnover. That might have been a fumble right there. But yeah, just again, always consistently moving his feet and getting through. So yeah, just a lot of stuff to be excited about with Elijah Roberts, and hopefully he can continue to develop and be a guy that they can count on as a rotational piece.
This is another huge talking point. I know we dismantle Logan Hall a lot in this channel, but like right here, this is a point where a blocker usually will maintain, stay on you, and get you out of the play, especially with Logan Hall. Like, he'll drive him out of the play, sit on him, it's over. He's consistently getting hands off of him, countering, understanding leverage, like just getting out of a block, right? A lot of this is, it looks easy when he does it, but it's not. Like, the other guy is trying to block him, not to let him make a play on the ball. So it's good to see that in preseason. Can it translate into the regular season is the thing.
Yeah, for sure. And everyone joining us, be sure to hit that like button. Again, we love to hear from you guys. Leave comments on the stream. What do you guys think of the 5th round pick and 7th round pick for the Buccaneers? It looks like they could have impacts right away for this team, and Tez Johnson and Elijah Roberts. But we appreciate everyone here. If you're over on Twitter, jump over to YouTube and hit that like button for us. Again, we appreciate all the support. Become a member. We had a new member join us earlier today, Fukuwab, so much appreciated to him. But if you want to see exclusive content, yeah, join our YouTube channel. You can join there and become a RBT insider, or you can go check out our Substack, and the link is below in the description. Click on that, and you can join for $5 a month or $50 for the entire year, and you'll get great content, including film studies like we just showed you, but even more extensive, longer, more scheme, concepts, all those types of things talked in there. And we really take our time, dissecting plays and players. So it's going to be a lot of fun this season, and can't wait to discuss more of that as we continue.
Let the big dog eat.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun season of literally what we just did right now. We're going to try and do with a lot of the players, especially in our Substack, to like throw as much possible, because I saw when you had during my vacation, I tuned in onto your live stream with who did you have from Pewter Report?
Oh, Josh Capo.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah.
Like, because it's so much more you can expand on and not be banned from, because YouTube says, oh no, we need this. So it's like, I don't know, it's going to be a lot more fun, and we'll have a lot more banter back and forth. It's not going to be like, let's get it 5 minutes, let's get it 8 minutes. Like, no, it's just going to be a lot more in depth. So let's have a good season.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a great question. If Logan Hall has all these negatives, how is he a starter? Yeah, I think it's negatives, but also he shows flashes of positives. So it's about being overall consistent, and that's just his issue right now. I think he took a step forward last year as far as making more plays, but the end result versus the entire game just wasn't there, week in, week out. Like, there was a lot of games where he just didn't show up. He would do some things, like his job, and I understand, he's not going to get a ton of stats because his job is to set up things for others. He's trying to be that William Golston type and kind of take on blockers. But at the same time, there's things where he just gets wiped out of a play, and you're trying to avoid that scenario. And I also think, why is he a starter? I don't really think they've had a guy that is clearly better than him right now. And maybe we see that with Elijah Roberts as he continues to develop throughout the season. It wouldn't shock me if he starts getting more snaps. And especially the Bucs do also play a lot of nickel. So you're not going to see a lot of Logan Hall. You're going to see a lot more Vita Vea, Cansey, Reddick, Yaya, etc. So that all plays into it.
I mean, and also touching on that point, he did improve in the running game. I'll be honest about that. But his best attribute is quickness, right? A finesse player. But you're asking him to do the William Golson role, which he should never, ever do. In college, he got wiped out all the time. We had John Ledyard on. He agreed. It's almost a struggle for him just to stay in the play at times.
Yeah.
Like he's just wanting not to get pancaked. And like you see that often. And it's like, damn, for a team that wants to like say they're great at stopping the run, and this is a guy you're trying to keep in to stay, let's stop the run. This is the role you're trying to play. It's kind of tough. But if you're putting him in a situational pass rusher, okay, yeah, let's use him. He has a quickness at that. He can do that. But I just wouldn't ask him to do that in a high volume. Why is he a starter? Look what's behind him. Greg Gaines is behind him. Adam Gottsitz.
Yeah.
Did we draft him? No. Anyone that we've drafted has gone before him. CJ Brewer, undrafted. I mean, it's almost who is there. So plus he was a second-round pick, damn near first-round pick. You got to see what the hell you have. And has he truly elevated his game every year? Now, his sack total went up, but we looked at the in-game stats. His pressure numbers went down, right? So it's like you had more opportunities, you got less. So it's like it was more beneficial of the Falcons game. I think he got 3 of the sacks in the Falcons games. So it's like,
he had sacks in 2 games. So it was the Chargers, he had 2 sacks, and then the Falcons, he had 3. So that right there, that's all the sacks. So but let's move on. Let's talk about let's talk about the edge group and the inside linebacker position. So at edge, obviously we're expecting, big play out of Yaya Diaby and Hassan Reddick. You have Chris Braswell, who, again, still hoping big things for. Maybe that will transpire this season. Hopefully we see that. You have Anthony Nelson, who's kind of like steady Eddie, does his job. But I propose this question. People here in the chat are talking about it. Pewter Report has talked about Jadeveon Clowney, maybe Preston Smith. But what's your thoughts on just the edge room overall? And do you see them potentially looking at external options?
I always say you should look at it.
Yeah.
But the Bucs truly never ever do. It feels like. At this point, let's see. Let's problem solve it. Jadeveon Clowney, Preston Smith, are they going to be starters? No.
Right.
100% no. Are they going to be a rotational piece that you put in there? Possibly, but then again, it goes to the point: are they going to be able to play special teams? Are you going to? Braswell will. Anthony Nelson does. So it's I don't know. I would entertain it, yes, if they could get one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't see how they fit in that situation. And they're expecting a lot from Chris Braswell. They talk nonstop about him. I just genuinely think they're going to run with what they got, even though I think David Walker they were trusting in a lot as well. Then he gets hurt. But let's see. Call. Yes, please call.
I'm leaning towards something would have to happen to Yaya Diaby or Reddick for them to make a move like that, bring in a Clowney or maybe a Preston Smith, because you bring them in to, sub in if there was an injury where a guy was going to miss 4 weeks or something like that. And maybe you bring one of those guys in for the vet minimum and see what they can provide you. But yeah, I'm in agreement. I think they're expecting Braswell to step up his game, and so far they've been pleased with what they have seen. You know, Todd Bowles spoke highly of him, so we'll see how that plays out. But I'm really excited to see Reddick. I think he's going to be a stud player for us. I really expect big things for him. Yaya Diaby, same thing. I think he's going to really come to play this year and better his last season as far as numbers go because of the attention that is going to be drawn from Reddick. So that is good. And then the inside linebacker position. So Servassier Dennis, Levante David, big year for Servassier.
Yeah.
They're counting on him. Deion Jones as that third linebacker, that's intriguing. And then John Bullock as your fourth linebacker. And we'll see what happens with Nick Jackson. Maybe he comes back on the practice squad, which I think he will. But the big news there is Anthony Walker Jr. gets cut due to his offseason injury. Didn't participate in training camp. So what's your thoughts there? Can they bring him back? Yes, but how do you see that playing out?
You don't know because you haven't seen him.
Yeah.
Right? He had good press conference. Yeah. Talked a good game, good confident player and friends with Levante, fast guy, but you got to be on the field and he never was. So he's being cut because you just can't hold a spot for someone that's not there. So do they try and bring him back? Most likely. Right. But the thing is, Deion Jones was healthy. He played the whole entire preseason.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like he was playing trying not to get hurt because I know some people were saying, oh, he was washed. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't necessarily think that's the case because you hear all the tight ends talking him up like, holy crap, this guy's fast and he's jumping routes and doing things in practice. Yeah. I think he was like, oh, let me just not get hurt in preseason since they're pretty much telling me I got a spot based off of my awareness and stuff like that. It was the training camp where he showed out. Preseason, he knows what he is. He's more there to help guys out. And I think the room's fine. Like you have a young, talented guy that can play special teams in John Bullock, made multiple tackles in the last game. Deion Jones is the guy, if anyone does get hurt, step in like a pinch. Yeah. I mean, does no one remember the Commanders game? Like every time he was on the field, he was making a play, like in a good way. Okay, guys. So he's not a washed up player. I think he's going to be a guy where if any one of them just needs a breather, not just necessarily gets hurt, I think he's going to be a perfect guy that can step in a pinch.
Yeah. Yeah. Aaron points out Chris Paul did get released. If you guys follow the channel, we're big Chris Paul Jr. fans over here, hoping the Buccaneers would draft him, but they passed over him several times. So obviously there's something there that I don't think liked. So I don't know if they'll add him. I would love to see him get claimed by us. That'd be great. Right. Have him as the fifth linebacker. I would be totally on board, but again, it's probably not going to happen. I think most likely he gets signed back by the Rams to their practice squad. But we'll see. Maybe there is a guy out there that they're looking at for linebacker. Maybe that's why they cut Anthony Walker. Who knows? But I think for the most part, this group at linebacker, I feel confident in. The main thing is Servassier. Like he's gonna be the key. I think they're expecting a lot from him. Obviously, Levante David, you know what you're going to get there. So if those guys are on the field, I feel pretty good about what they can bring. And then let's move to the secondary, and we'll wrap up the show on the secondary and special teams. Yes, we'll give love to special teams as far as the punter goes because he was also big news and outstanding as well. But secondary looks like this. It's going to be Jamel Dean, Zion McCollum, Jacob Parrish, Benjamin Morrison. Can't talk enough about this guy. I know we haven't seen him play, but man, when he gets on the field, it's going to be something. And then Kendall Vildor as the fifth corner. And it remains to be seen what happens with Josh Hayes, Tyreek Funderburk. You still have Roman Perotti here. So I think all those guys probably get cut. And I think they probably put one or two of them on the practice squad.
I mean, the biggest thing overall, I mean, yes, you talked on the secondary and everything.
Yeah.
A majority of it is healthy.
Yep.
Okay, that's the biggest thing. When was the last time Kalijah Cansey started a season?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. First time
So,
now.
I mean, last year Yaya was hurt. Dennis, 2 games in, out.
Yep.
So like,
Well, he was already hurt too. I mean,
Yeah.
the shoulder was already bad.
so it's like, be happy that a majority or literally all of your starters are healthy right now
Yep.
and they're good to go. So that's why I'm plus was saying like Yaya is going to benefit from Hassan Reddick. Reddick didn't have to show anything in preseason. It's preseason. Just let me get my legs under me. That's it.
Yep.
Now it's go time. Now these starters that know how to turn it on are going to turn it on. And you got a combination of youth, speed, experience, stars at every level. You got the Vita Vea, you got Levante, you got Antoine Winfield Jr., and then you have your young secondary just demons that want to get out there and make a play. And their coach is telling them, no, play more aggressive, stay closer to the line because we're going to be dialing up some blitzes with pressure. So, like, I mean, it could be a good year for the defense. Like they were awful last year. And to a credit, Logan Hall's a starter. KJ Britt was a starter last year as well. So
Yep.
that there's a lot less. Your floor of your worst player that is starting is a lot higher this year, I believe. And it could get even better if someone gets changed out. But like overall, like extremely, I guess, a team that's been together for a while and you added together certain little sprinkles that can only benefit the team. Because Servassier, if he plays a whole year, this team's going to be good. It's going to be damn good. And
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of pressure going on.
Yeah, I think, Aaron talking about Jacob Parrish, he looks like a stud. He looks like that type of player that fits the bill for their nickel position. Again, he can play outside as well, gets hands on the football, and plays the right style. So I think he'll be fun to watch. And then I think for the secondary, Jamel Dean, I think, again, is still good when he's out on the field. It's just about staying healthy. We'll see what happens between him and Benjamin Morrison, because I think Morrison's going to start practicing here either this week or next week for sure, get back into things. And then you'll have Vildor as like your special teams guy, fifth corner. But I'm excited. I'm excited for Zion McCollum. I think he's going to have a good season. Already had a pick in preseason, which is great. The only question mark I have with this team in the secondary really is the safeties. Antoine Winfield Jr., are we going to get the guy we saw in 2023 or some version that's close to that? If we do, I think the secondary set, like, because he is the magnet. He's the thing that kind of holds everything together. And if you get the star player that we know he can be, that's a great start for the secondary. And then how does Tyke Smith adjust to playing safety? That's going to be like the big question early on. If he can take that step forward and be a solid safety, then I'm excited about that. And, Izzian as the third safety, I'm completely fine with. Kayvon Merriweather, again, good special teams player, good, strong safety type. And do they keep Rashad Wisdom? Because he can play nickel and he can also play safety. So to have a backup there, that will be intriguing to see if he does make the team.
Yeah, I think Izzian also that they're saying it's more of a pain tolerance thing. It's huge. So I think he will be available when it's game time.
Right.
Yeah, but you do want to see these young guys on the field. But I think it's huge that Dean is starting the season healthy. Let's see how far he takes it, especially being more aggressive with his length and everything. Let's see. Like, I know everyone wants to push him off and see the young guys, but hell, you have depth right now. Enjoy it because it can be gone really fast. Look what we just saw with the receivers, right? So enjoy what you have right now. If some things have to be changed, Todd Bowles will do it, right? Because now he has the ability to do it because he has players that can play behind them. So, yeah, I think overall the defense is primed for a step forward, right? Because it's been so many years of like, holy crap, you have a defensive coordinator for a head coach. What's going on? I think today today. This year is where you kind of find out what he can do when he has talent around him.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm excited to see how it's all going to play out. Again, we're getting closer to the initial 53-man roster. That will be finalized tomorrow, and then the next day we'll get into the practice squad, and we'll try to have reactions on the channel towards that here later in the week. And then lastly, the special teams. I think we have a great kicker in McLaughlin, and then Riley Dixon as our punter. Already showed night and day better than what we had to deal with last year. I think you have consistency there. And then the return game has me super excited with Tez Johnson as the punt returner and Sean Tucker as your kickoff guy. I think that's going to be really fun to see how that plays out. Really excited to see it go.
Also, I was reading a comment up here. Jeremy, you are a wild man for doing 5 different drafts.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we have 5. I mean, not 5. We have a draft tomorrow that we're doing. And then we have, I think, Jeremy. I'm in a league with Jeremy, which is next Monday. We have a draft for on Labor Day. So I think next week for game week, we'll probably have the live stream on a different day. Just depends on what we can do. Maybe we'll go live Monday, but I will be in the middle of the draft and I don't want to be distracted. So we'll maybe we can plan something for next Wednesday, maybe Thursday, just depending on time and availability. But we'll definitely be live. We'll definitely be previewing the Buccaneers versus the Falcons and getting into that. So that will be exciting. And we just got a lot of stuff going on. We're really excited about it. It's going to be a fun year. We're going to have different content throughout this season. We're going to have live streams for actual game day. So during the game, we could be live. So stay tuned for those. And then check us out on Substack. Substack is going to carry a lot of great content this year that we're really excited to push forward. YouTube is still going to have content. We're still going to have content for you guys here on YouTube. It's just going to be a little bit differently, different formatted, a little bit more highlight base, not as extensive film studies on here, but we're going to have it best of both worlds. And it's going to be really cool to share with you all. So super excited about that.
Hell yeah. I mean,
Let the big dog eat.
it's going to be fun. It's going to be, it's going to be extensive. I'll say that.
Yep. So with that said, nope, that's the wrong one. Let me get this right. There we go. With that said, be sure to hit that like button. Hey, subscribe if you're new here. We had so many people in the stream. We had over 200 people. So if you're not on YouTube, create an account, join Real Bucs Talk, check out our Substack, and we'll see you all next week for our live stream. It's week 1. It's finally here. Man, just super excited. Can't say that enough. I said that probably 1,000 times on this stream, but yeah, it's all about to get going here. So thank you all. Thank you for everyone who joined. Appreciate all the comments and support. And with that said, go Bucs. We'll see you next week.
Woo!